What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. This is a bit of an unusual video. Welcome back to the Spec Train channel. My name is Billy, and today I'm making a video in response to Frogman Tactical, who challenged me to make this video. Quick big note on the setup: clean target, and I've got a hostage target. The reason I have this set up like this, we got into a little bit of discussion about how we should be teaching people to pull the trigger in order to get accurate hits on target. And kind of the classic story in military and law enforcement for decades has been, man, teaching folks, you know, the only way to have 100% accountability for your hits is to make sure you prep the trigger every shot, slowly press it, and then pin it to the rear, that kind of thing. I really disagree with that, because we don't ever do that when it matters in any practical shooting discipline. You know, when you have rounds coming at you from every gunfight I've ever seen, right? Folks are pressing the trigger pretty quick in order to try to survive that situation. Because even if you can hit stuff, if you can't hit it in time, then what does it really matter? So what I prefer to do, especially when I'm teaching, you know, law enforcement or practical shooters, whatever the case may be, is teach folks how to actually slap the trigger without moving the gun, so that now you can pull the trigger really quick and avoid getting bad hits. You can maintain good accuracy now at speed. And the way we do that is with proper trigger finger isolation, grip pressures, and especially a good locked-in support hand grip. So I have other videos that talk about all that, but today what Frogman decided to challenge me to do was to go back to 10 yards, slap the trigger, see what my accuracy on target would be. And he told me to make sure that my wife and kids were right on each side of the target when I did it. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't really mean that. Obviously I would never do that on the range. I don't have a wife and kids yet, but also that would be pretty stupid. But what I did do is put this hostage target up here. I'm gonna make the challenge way more difficult on myself by going back to 15 yards and holding myself to headshots only. And so we'll see how that works out for us, right? Clean target. What I also have, guys, I'm gonna get behind the target camera. Sorry, I'm only one guy. I've got another camera here that I'll show you the hits live. I also have a tape measure set up, just to give you a little bit of reference on distance. This is a 25-foot tape measure. It's the longest one that I had. Hopefully you can see there, we're out at 25 feet. I'm actually going back to this barrel. Again, 10 yards just seemed like way too easy of a challenge. So we're going back to 15 here by this barrel, and we're gonna do headshots only. The way we're gonna do this is a classic drill that we do to kind of diagnose our grip. It's typically called trigger control at speed. I like to call it jerk the trigger drill, because it ticks off the FUDs, right? All we're gonna simply do is I'm gonna start with my finger all the way in the very front of the trigger guard and slap all the way through on the beep of my timer. And I'm gonna try to get that first shot to happen in under a quarter of a second in order for it to count as a passing score for me personally. And we'll see what happens on our headshots here at 15 meters. Oh, I almost forgot. Apparently also, a good thing for you guys to know is that caffeine can change the frequency of your body. So let me make sure I got some Go Fast juice on deck. Let's go ahead and load up. Here's my timer I'm gonna be using. It's a Shooter's Global on delay. I'm gonna start aimed in, finger all the way in the front. As soon as I hear that beep, I'm gonna slap it all the way to the rear. And let's see what we can do here, guys. That was a 0.19. Again, what I'm looking for, if this camera will kind of focus, hopefully, come on, yeah, whatever, is sub-quarter second. Let's try it again. Goose that one a little bit to the left. That's a 0.20. Get off my face, please. Let's try that again. 0.20 again. Let's do two more. 0.20 again. 0.18, right? Now, we are gonna, in one cut, go look at the target again, even though you're seeing it, just so there's no funny business at all. But I can already hear the YouTube range Nazis saying, hey man, that's a Wonder Blaster 5000, of course you can do that, right? So let me pull out this gun. This is a totally stock Glock 19 Gen 5, just like it came out of the box. Very similar to the gun that Frogman Tactical was using in his video, except I don't think this one was made specifically for Special Forces, so it's probably nowhere near as good. But anyway, I'm gonna go try this. Now, this is a gun that I never shoot. I literally own this gun specifically to make videos like this, because people always talk about me shooting cool guns. And so I'm gonna give myself a little bit more forgiveness. The trigger is not as nice, to be totally honest, but also I just don't know this gun at all. I'm gonna move down into the A zone, do 5 rounds. Let's see what we can do. Okay, 0.20. 0.18. 0.17. 0.19. Oh, it picked up an extra hit. Let's see here. First shot was a 0.19 there as well. It picked up another hit, I think, when I pulled it off of the timer. Just so there's no funny business, guys, let's have a look. I'm gonna run back down range for you. And of course, here is our target. So hopefully, takeaways from today's video, man, I got no issue with anybody in particular. This is not a video designed to, just, throw shade at another instructor. The issue that I have is that particular video that I'm referencing had 19,000 likes and I forget a couple 100,000 views or whatever. People still are spewing a lot of nonsense when it comes to just kind of legacy ideas on fundamentals of marksmanship. And I think it's really damaging to shooters in general, but especially to folks that are carrying, a gun in defense of our freedoms. And so I think those of us that are kind of in the know have a responsibility to start calling this stuff out and proving what actually works. It's impossible, just to give you a random idea, to do a sub-second build drill, right? With prepping the trigger for each shot. It's not possible. It's not possible. And when we look at a lot of the gunfights that we see law enforcement in this country getting in, a lot of them look kind of like retreating build drills, right? And so we want our guys to be able to shoot fast. That's absolutely crucial, but we also want them to be able to get good hits on target at speed. We can't do that by teaching guys to slow down on the trigger and press the trigger carefully, and also kind of putting this 100% accountability mantra in place in our training where it's completely unacceptable for guys to ever miss the target. And so now they're so afraid of missing that they only ever shoot super slowly and carefully, right? Because what ends up happening, we have guys coming into law enforcement that have never shot before, don't shoot outside of work. They get on the range to do their qual. They shoot super slow and careful because the times allow them to, and what they're punished on is accuracy, not speed. And then all of a sudden they get on the street, rounds are coming at them, they start pulling the trigger as fast as they probably should to try to survive that situation, but they've never shot that fast before in their life. And so what do we see? Sub 10% hit ratios in law enforcement, right? The proof is in the pudding. And so I think this is a major disservice on behalf of the firearms training community for our guys that carry, guns for a living, let alone, responsibly armed civilians. So, guys, for what it's worth, watch some of my other videos that I go into detail on the techniques and stuff behind this, or come out to a class. I'll be happy to show you how it's done. There's a lot of good guys out here teaching this kind of thing as well. This is not stuff that I invented, right? I learned this stuff from world and national champion level shooters, and it works pretty well for us. It works pretty well. So with that said, hopefully that explains a few things, and we'll see you back on a future video.